The Morning Drive is sponsored by Power Metallic. To find out more about the company, please visit their website at powermetallic.com. Follow the Money Investor Group is a 100% Indigenous-owned company and certified with the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business.
Scott.
Carl, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome for a morning drive. Hugh got a hold of me, CEO of Revival Gold, of course, and he said, Carl, I think you should interview our new hire, Scott Trebilcock. And I said, sure. And I was looking into your professional career, and I was like, this is a good hire. But you know what? Let's kind of get to know you first. So just so people know, you've been hired on as the VP of Corporate Development and Investor Relations.
Correct.
So you're going to take a little bit of weight off of Hugh's shoulders here.
Exactly, yep.
But you're an Ontario boy.
I am, yeah. Born and raised in Hamilton till 19, everything that goes with that, which was awesome. Which, interestingly, by complete coincidence, so is Hugh. So we both have common kind of roots in that in Southern Ontario. My family still lives here. My wife's family's from here.
Okay.
But I'm currently residing in Vancouver because, in the mining space, you kind of got two centers of gravity in Canada. And I went out there for work 15 years ago.
You never came back?
And I've raised two kids out there, and they are very West Coast.
Okay.
But I don't know. We'll probably be back here, I think.
So?
Some of them are going to go one of them is going to go to school out here for sure. So we'll be back. We'll be back. Yeah.
So growing up in Hamilton, do you have any siblings?
I have step siblings.
Okay.
Three. Cambridge, London, and Hamilton is where the three of them live. Yeah.
So were you guys competitive with each other, or playing sports, beating each other up?
A little bit, Okay. They came along later, and as happens as families evolve. But we have a great relationship. But I think Ontario to me is home.
I'm gonna go say hello to Drake. Drake lives right around here.
I think Prince used to live around here. This is the go-to neighborhood in
this is the
some
nicest
ways.
Neighborhood of Toronto. So
yeah, it's fantastic. My brother-in-law's got a great wine collection, so when I come to town, I stay at his place as much as I can. But I'm looking forward to coming here and helping Hugh pick up, Revival Gold. He's done a great job putting it together and help him. Like you said, take that weight off the shoulder to push the ball further.
Well, it's a good opportunity for me to say something for compliance reasons, because normally I'm biased because I get paid to do these interviews, but I'm actually double biased because I'm a shareholder of Revival. Yeah. And I wasn't a shareholder right away. I just kept kind of researching the company and understanding the projects, and I was like, you know what? I think this is a good opportunity. So I did buy stock. So I've been paid by the company to do this interview with Scott, and I own shares. And of course, you're biased because it's in the news release of your compensation. But let's kind of talk about your professional career, because you've done some pretty cool things, right?
Yeah.
So where did it start?
Oh yeah, that's always a long question. I'll give you the short course.
Okay.
So I had an uncle growing up, who had a factory in Burlington, Ontario that made mining equipment.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't for the mining side, it was for the processing side. He served Stelco, Dofasco, Noranda, Falconbridge, all the great Canadian mining companies.
What was it? What type of stuff?
He used to make anode and cathode handling equipment for smelters, these big machines that would pick up the anodes in the smelter. He also made rotating kilns for the cement business and foundry business that knocked the sand off castings, and big machinery, right? Lots of welding. I used to work there in the summers, swept the floor, did the gardening, did some welding.
Yeah.
Almost became a machinist. I got offered a journeyman as a machinist, but passed. Went and did an engineering degree. Came out of school and immediately went and worked at Hatch, an engineering firm, which almost exclusively was an engineer to mining companies. Kind of at this point by coincidence.
Sure. So another different job, but still kind of mining related.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And from there, one of my clients was Noranda. They had an office downtown. I was a young guy.
Yeah.
So I thought, it'd be nice to live downtown Toronto and not in the suburbs at the engineering company.
Yeah. Were you in your like 20s at this point, or?
Yeah, mid-20s, you know. So I lived in downtown Toronto. You know, worked at Noranda's headquarters. I was doing sulfuric acid and concentrate marketing. So I was basically a salesperson, but a technical salesperson for products that the mining company was making.
Okay.
And that kind of got the hook sunk a bit deeper on the mining sector.
This is Drake's house, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's Drake's house.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
Well, he's got some beautiful wreaths.
The embassy.
The embassy. It's a lovely spot. And anyway, I'll get through the story quickly.
Sorry about that.
No, I did an MBA. I want to see Drake's house. Who else we can see along here? I don't think.
Well, he has a bell. He's got the old school Bell phone outside. That's like I knew that, so I saw it. I'm like, yeah, it's Drake's house. But everybody else is probably super private.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like Prince. Yeah, who knows? There's lots and lots of the old school Toronto CEO and rich types are still hanging around here. I did an MBA and worked really hard, and this was kind of life changing. You know, from the party guy in Toronto in your 20s. My 30s I spent in Boston helping turn around U.S. industrial companies.
Okay.
Help them innovate. So that was really hard work. You know, that very U.S. work ethic. 100-hour weeks on the plane every week to your client, like just
go.
pounding it, right?
Right.
And thought, you know, I'd met my wife. We were deciding if we're going to get married and have kids, and thought, I want to raise my kids in Canada. I want to go back home.
Okay.
So moved back to.
But you met her in the States.
We met actually in our MBA and had an on and off long distance relationship.
Got it.
She is Canadian and from Etobicoke.
That's right.
So we. So anyways, came back, looked around. The kind of companies that I was consulting to don't have the size of businesses in Canada. Like US has tons of big companies, right? They can afford that type of consulting. So I was networking around with some friends. My friend says, there's this startup out of Vancouver that I put some money in. It's an interesting story. They want someone technical that can sort of learn how to promote stocks.
Right.
So I was like, that's interesting. So it was actually a company called Nautilus Minerals, which was without going into it, because I don't want to promote their stock. They basically were trying to put seafloor mining technology, which was really coming out of the oil and gas business.
Okay.
And they raised $365 million. We got a joint venture with Anglo American, with Teck out of Vancouver. There was actually a Russian oligarch that was a big investor, because everybody wanted to see this oil and gas deep water technology come into mining seafloor minerals.
Sure.
But the founder behind it was a great promoter.
Okay.
Learned how to pitch, learned how to present, learned how to talk about equities with people, and he was just a very sort of forward-looking, brilliant guy. Yeah, not in like a scuzzy way.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, because on the flip side, like people that joined the company like were just enraptured. He's like a cult leader, which is good.
But
He's like a leader. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ultimately, they tried to put the mine into production and actually ran into politics in Papua New Guinea, where the project was, more so than the technology part.
Okay.
But it was a really interesting time, and from there I got recruited when I moved to Vancouver, to go to a company called Nevsun. Nevsun, we built a mine in Northeast Africa. I ran corporate development. We ended up doing I think about an $800 million deal, and bought a company called Reservoir Minerals, which had a copper mine in Serbia.
Okay.
These were tough places to work.
Sure.
That was lots of travel. It was international. One was a gold mine, the other was a copper mine, so lots of diverse experience. We ended up getting into a tussle with Lucas Lundin, wanted to take over the company, and I ran sort of a contested sales process of the company in Zijin, the Chinese, now I think the second largest gold company in the world.
They're huge.
Yeah, got the company in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. Most recently, I did a similar thing at Mandalay, which was a gold operator in Sweden and Australia. The new CEO came in. I had known him from the Nevsun days. He brought me in. That was about 2 years ago, and we just sold that company this summer.
Yeah.
For one. Numbers are all. I'm trying to get revival numbers in my mind.
It was a billion something.
Yeah, it was a billion merged with an Australian gold producer, and that company's, off and running on its own. I stepped down from management.
Yeah.
I've known Hugh for a long time, and he was the first guy to come back to me and said,
what are you doing?
Yeah, I've got the bones together. How do we take, help me push this, bring it forward, right?
Sure.
And anyways, that was I didn't take much time off because I joined Hugh pretty much right away.
So then you look. So Hugh comes to you. You guys know each other. Very well respected individual Hugh is. Lots of people know him. And you look at the project. You look at you're looking at the whole thing, right?
Yep.
What is it that was like, yeah, I'm in for this? Because now you've got an eye of getting into something with with good projects and taking them to buyouts and being a part of this whole thing. So that's kind of what your eye is, right?
Yeah.
So what
yes,
was it?
absolutely. Well, I mean, without being trite about it,
Sure.
it's about you can get the share price to move a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And what are sort of the secret ingredients that I saw that I thought created that opportunity?
Yeah.
First is gold in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's 6 million ounces of gold in the company. Not only half of it's in economic studies, and about 1.4 million of that is in this Mercur project, which is a near-term development.
Right.
Like it's got a very clear path to getting that gold out of the ground. It's not just one of these resources that's going to sit in northern BC forever and come and go promotion. This will be in production, particularly in this cycle. And you put all this stuff together in a company that's got a super clean balance sheet, right? There's equity, there's no debt, there's no hooks from any investors, there's no bad historic deals that create burdens on unlocking the shareholder value. So
when you say hooks, I haven't heard an executive use that term, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what is the hooks by investors or shareholders? What do you mean by that?
yeah, exactly. Some companies, particularly because, and I think where Hugh did a great job, was pushing back hard and taking risk. It was a bad market for the 5 years he was putting this company together, right?
Yeah.
And in a good way, that allowed him to get these great assets in this little company.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you got to push really hard to not end up with warrants.
Yeah.
Right?
Overhang.
ROFRs on royalties, ROFRs on debt,
Yeah.
Obligations to other people that in the end, in my simplistic world, increases your cost of capital and basically takes away long-term equity value.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So the company is absolutely clean of those things. And I think that just gives it, and then you just look at the fundamental valuation, right? It's cheap to peers, it's cheap to any metric you can kind of run because it's still very new.
Yeah.
Hugh just bought the second asset, closed it less than 18 months ago.
What do you think about the shareholders that are in the institutions? Because I'm familiar with them, and I'm asking for your opinion.
Yep. It's one of the elements of the secret sauce that
Yeah.
I like. The largest shareholder came in very recently. I don't think the North American market's really woken up to the strength of that group. It's EMR Capital.
Yeah.
They're largely Australian. Now they invest worldwide. They're a private equity firm, but they're technically focused. And North Americans don't know the name and the tip of the tongue. North Americans know, Appian and Orion and RCF. People know what that means instantly.
Yeah.
EMR, Australian, has that exact connotation. I think the North Americans are still waking up saying this is a very well capitalized, deep pocketed, pure equity holder. The only thing they got was a board seat and an anti-dilution right, which is great because they want to keep putting capital in to fund the company going forward.
And you have Dundee,
that's Jonathan Goodman. He now talk about a guy with an eye for value. He's created a lot of value over the years in lots of great companies. He was behind the scenes with Hugh while they were building Kinross.
Yeah.
Right? Dundee Precious Metals, I think, is a $7 billion company now. Right? All of these things. He's got a great eye. He came in, likes the projects. He's got some technology in Dundee Corp through Dundee Technologies that can help with some of the refractory material that's still in the resource at Beartrack. So there's some technological and equity excitement there on the Dundee side. And then behind that, Hugh's got high net worth, strong institutional shareholders.
Influential people like Rick Rule.
I think some people in Rick Rule's group own the stock.
Yeah.
But yeah, people like that, like the Dave Elliott's out of Vancouver. These are big, deep-pocketed retail investors they buy stocks long, typically. So there's this great long, shareholder base. And I think that's both created a challenge and an opportunity for the company. The challenge is it's never been very liquid. Right? And, in today's capital markets, liquidity keeps you out of the GDXJ.
Yeah.
Right? It keeps you out of some of these things. It keeps you out of some institutions that can't buy.
Yeah.
Now that the company's market cap has come up, and that liquidity is coming. Hugh's opened up his marketing, and one of the things we're going to expand on is some more retail marketing, try and increase that liquidity.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's a big opportunity next year. We can get that liquidity and market cap up just a bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Then you can get into the indexes and stuff.
Absolutely.
So those are potential catalysts.
Those are totally potential catalysts. I think those are coming quickly.
Okay. Anything else on the call to action list? I mean, you covered quite a bit.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, with your experience and stuff like that, sort of, as you map out kind of things you want to do with Hugh, is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to take, without committing to anything right now, I think there's an opportunity for revival. And I'll get back. I love the way Hugh has branded the company, the Revival.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the revival of the gold price. It's revival of domestic U.S. gold production.
Yeah.
Because these are both brownfield sites. So they're simple, easy to put back into production because they've been previously disturbed. And that whole revival element, I think, is something that we still have opportunities to capitalize on, right?
Yeah.
You got companies, they put out, the Fast 41 permitting process in the U.S. You get something into Fast 41, stocks are popping.
Yeah.
You get, we don't have a U.S. listing because it's been about building a very tight foundational shareholder base to date.
That's a good one.
There's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? There's an opportunity like the U.S. Exim Bank has got however many billions of dollars for critical minerals.
Yeah.
Gold is a critical mineral in
Yeah.
the U.S. You saw Augusta Gold, Richard Wark's company, come out right after getting an Exim loan investment. They got taken out by Goldfields, right? Like within months. That may be coincidental, but it's part of unlocking the value of the story. All these are different levers that we have yet to pull in Revival, and we're going to be looking at as ways to advance these assets to production and start to deepen the valuation for a shareholder in those assets.
Well, and there is some analyst coverage on the company. There are these price targets out there.
Yep.
Right. That probably enable you guys to show a little easier the clear path to it being potentially undervalued. Right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the morning drive. And doing this and talking about sort of, because I think this is a great interview for current shareholders and potential new shareholders, where it's like, hey, we're going to bring in a guy who has experience. We know, we believe that this company is undervalued, and we need to get the stock price up.
Absolutely. And we've got a whole, as you said, I think we just touched on the different catalysts we can create to unlock that value. Thanks for taking the time, Carl.
Oh, absolutely. Anything that we didn't talk about today that maybe we should, or?
No, I don't think so. You're right on point. It's about creating catalysts and getting leverage from 6 million ounces of gold in the ground and a 150 million market cap company.
All right. Well, I look forward to hopefully seeing the stock price increase over time, and I'm excited to see you get to work.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
All right.